Welcome back. This was my last travel. It was absolutely fantastic, and little did I know that it was the last time I would go in 365 days. The part that I remember most, aside from the architecture and the food, is the people, the crowds, swollen waves of people rumbling down La Rambla day in and night out. The mob that was moving through the streets was absolutely fascinating. By contrast, the visual quietness of Mises Barcelona Pavilion, the one and only modern architectural masterpiece. There is so much distilled in this tiny pavilion that makes it so difficult for modern architecture to come up with something that has not already been done. And learning from the masters is a great inspiration of travels. And let's not forget the food. Isn't food just the best when you travel, or when you go to a restaurant by that matter, or to the cottage? I find that a lot of times when you go and eat out is better even if it's not better. Granted, most of the times it's better because the cooks are amazing. In Toronto and abroad, in most restaurants that I've been to, the food was superb with very few exceptions. In Barcelona, for instance, I had fantastic pintos, like tapas, mini sandwiches that you go and grab, and they're setting them up on a counter. Usually it's at lunch. And they have plates that keep coming from the kitchen, and you just go from your table and you grab one of each, you go and eat, and then you can go and grab again, and it's a really fun way to have lunch. I enjoyed that a lot. Setting up a good table at home, it's a way of compensating for the fact that the social activities and the eating out that I'm sure a lot of us had as habits have not been happening lately. And it's a beautiful way to compensate. Aside from having the opportunity to test some new dishes that you may want to make, to set up the table in a nicer way, you could also dress up and make sure that the entire atmosphere is set for success. And I'm sure a lot of you have done that already. I think it is a must to try to do both and enjoy your home in a way that you never thought you could do. Because when you dine at home, ultimately you are not necessarily planning for it to be too elaborate unless you have guests or is a special occasion in the family. Whereas if you take, for instance, a Tuesday evening or a Wednesday evening, something that is completely off the charts in terms of middle of the week, nothing special type of day, and make it special, I find that that day will be remembered in a very different way than so many Saturdays. I think with all that in place, the dining at home has actually the same appeal that dining out in a restaurant would have, just that it is maybe with a little bit more work, because obviously you're not being served unless you want to designate someone in the family. And most importantly, it does give you a chance to really control what you eat and eat healthy. In 2020, I started a garden, and I'm sure you relate to that because we've all heard and read about how gardening has bloomed in the summer of 2020. I've been a brown thumb since forever, since I know myself, and I never thought I can do it. I started fairly late, somewhere in June, and I ended up having a beautiful garden. It was with some help, but mostly the vegetable part of it I had to keep and maintain myself. This I found to be one of the greatest opportunities of 2020 on so many levels. First of all, yes, as I was saying, healthy eating out of your own garden is absolutely fantastic, but also the act of growing something on your own. This isn't something that I have not experienced. My mother used to garden a lot, and when she was alive, I had really vegetables from the garden, from the same garden. But when she passed, nobody took over the gardening, so nothing happened there. And I found that I love doing it, and hopefully I won't kill anything, but it's definitely something that will stick with me. So out of the entire year, this is probably my biggest lifestyle change. The fact that I've learned to love to do that. Another good thing that happened is that despite the deterioration of so many aspects of my life, me time has increased. I actually had a lot more time to do what I like to do. I'm a reader, for instance. Actually, one great book that I found with all the marketing that you see me do now that I haven't been doing until now is a book called Fascinate. It is fascinating. It's so well written, so articulated, and so beautiful to read. Not to mention very useful for where I am now and what I want to do, that I would definitely recommend it. My media presence has changed a lot, and part of it is also because of what I thought of doing given the lack of other socializing. I thought I would give it a try and spread and share some of my professional knowledge and observations and interests and lifestyle tips and personal experiences with you as part of my socializing with the camera. Well, with you, not the camera, with you through the camera. And it took a while. It took a long time. I like doing it. It is extremely therapeutic. I absolutely enjoy it. Work is not everything, but it is a huge part of our lives. I think I'm not sure what the percentage is, but I think it's around 55% of people work. And that is a large percentage. For all of us that do it, we have to be sure that we like what we do, because a third, if not more, of your adult working life is spent working. So if you don't like what you do, this is the time to change. This is the time to go and get inventive and see how you can spin off what it is that you do into something else. As I mentioned in the first episode, 2020 was the 10-year anniversary of Dokia Interior Design. And even though we weren't able to celebrate much last year, we are gearing towards a lot of little mechanisms that will keep this moment alive and that we will look back to in fondness. We are working on a book, and we are going to have a little internal event. Unfortunately, I won't be able to throw a big party for reasons that we all know, but I do hope you will keep in touch through YouTube and subscribe to my channel and visit for more. Thank you for watching. The next A-list will be on trends and how to use them, and that will come in February.